I have so many processes when it comes to designing. So sometimes I just when there's no like I just got uh hit by a roadblock when it comes to designing. I tend to uh I guess uh jump out of the box and to be honest, I play games to regain or buy art books, a lot of art books. Most of the art books here in the office are mine.
I
So
remember.
yeah. So and here's one thing that I do actually. Uh, the game that I play, Soul Calibur, when this is my old work and I want to redesign it, and I just don't know how. I don't know that time. I just have no idea how to do this quickly. I want it to be done immediately. So I made these characters in Soul Calibur. So this one, and this one, and then I just translated the design into this one, and this one. So here's the updated version of it. Okay.
Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to our featured artist interview segment here at Brushpoint Academy. Tonight's guest is a graduate from the University of Santo Tomas with a bachelor's degree in FA Advertising Arts from 2010 to 2016. He was a concept artist for Tropa Entertainment. He was also a concept artist for Secret Six, and he is currently, as far as I know, a lead concept artist for System Studios. So
Yeah.
without further ado, please everyone welcome JC Dimayuga.
Yay!
Let's go! I know
I'm
you have
Bao.
your oh there we go. I know you have your live audience there in the office. So hello guys. It's me. I'm the guy with the Hawaiian shirt during the System Connect. All right, so welcome to the show. Can I call you JC or you want to be called John?
JC. Or you
All
can
right.
call me Jayon. Just kidding. Just
Oh, okay.
JC. JC.
Okay. All right. So let's start things slow. All right. So have you watched Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yeah, watch it. Last week?
No spoilers. No spoilers
No,
for
okay,
both
yeah,
of
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
was fun. It was fun.
It's fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Were you satisfied with their design for Wolverine?
I think I'm okay with it, but uh, I like that it is almost comic accurate. But I think I prefer it to have some more utilitarian design because it still looks very MCU. It's it's very
Oh,
MCU. Yeah.
oh,
But
that's
it's good.
interesting.
I'm planning to buy the Hot Toys figure of that Wolverine. Can't wait for it. I actually already pre-ordered for it.
Oh, this early. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. When you said it's very MCU, and I kind of get what you mean, but for the audience here, could you expand on that? Because I know there's a Marvel fatigue going on right now, and there's a running joke that they over design.
Yeah.
But when you say something looks MCU, um, what makes you say it looks MCU?
Well, for starters, every costume looks like they were made in a factory. So they they still have their unique qualities, but um, when you look at Daredevil's costume
Mm-hmm.
and Wolverine and Deadpool, Spider-Man, they all look like they came from one costume factory. So, and also when I say it looks MCU, MCU designs tend to uh, use a lot of panelings on their costume that makes it look a little busy. But
Mm-hmm.
one prime example that I mean, I'm not saying MCU designs are bad, but there are cases like Thor's new costume in Love and Thunder. I really don't like that
Ooh,
design.
yeah, same. All
Yeah.
right. So, what then are the things that make you say, man, this design is great? So, it's not particularly about MCU, like in general. What makes a great design from, let's say, pop culture, be it from comics or games, into live action? That transition, that translation, what makes, when is it great?
Well, for starters, uh, it has to stand out. I mean, it could look very simple, but um, it uh, should have things that will make it very unique. For example, uh, let's just say, hmm, who is that guy again? Ash from Evil Dead series. He
Oh,
just has a blue shirt, but he has a chainsaw hand that makes him look very unique. And same goes to Terminator. He's just wearing a leather jacket and black leather jacket and black clothes. But um, the thing that makes him unique is when he gets his scar on his face, and that reveals his cybernetic skull.
mhm.
So little details that makes it pop out and more unique.
Okay.
Did I answer
So,
that right? Yeah.
yeah, no, that's great. That's great info. Because that leads to my next question.
Hmm.
When you're redesigning, when you're doing your own designs, how do you know when to stop designing? Because I asked this great traditional artist before in college, how do you know when to stop? And she says, when I've said enough with my artwork. So
Hmm.
for you, for yourself, what's your counterpart to that? How do you know when to stop designing?
Um, well, well, of course, if the design gets a little bit too busy, but sometimes there are times that I forget to stop. I tend to over design some of my artworks, but uh, when I feel like all of the story elements of the character is already on design, this is when uh, I stop working on the
Okay,
design.
okay, that's great. Now, on the topic of story elements, let's have some fun. So, I know you're an avid gamer and
Yeah.
you're a huge fan of Hideo Kojima, I hope. If, in
Um.
case, because
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
research might have been off there. If it's not
Well, well, I'm a fan, but I'm not really
a
like
huge,
a
huge fan.
huge fan. I
Okay,
like it.
okay,
I like his Metal Gear series,
okay.
but I'm not really into his new game, Death
Death
Stranding.
Stranding.
I
It's
I
kind of
I, I, I wasn't able to finish it.
it's
The game
long.
is too long. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but he's one to deep dive into the lore, and I heard that you like to deep dive into lore yourself. So
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima's one example, but there are a lot of other directors that do that as well. So for you, over the years, what's that one game lore that stays rent free in your mind?
Oh, hmm. Well, probably uh, Resident Evil. Actually,
Oh,
I'm a big fan of the Resident Evil series, and maybe I'll tie it into uh, Fire Emblem and actually Mortal Kombat. Those are my big three. Three when it comes to my knowledge of the lore.
what hooked
Yeah.
you into those three?
Well, in Resident Evil series, and in general, my favorite character is Jill Valentine. So I first played Resident Evil 3, and I just think that Jill Valentine is a very heroic character. She's very unique because I haven't seen any female character that is like her. I mean, some people say that her design is sexualized, but I don't think so. She's not. She she's a city girl. It makes sense that she wears that kind of outfit. So yeah, and the way that she's just brave, and she encountered this pursuer nemesis, and even though she got infected, she still fight on and try to uh and escape the city. So yeah, that Jill Valentine is my favorite. And when it comes to Fire Emblem actually is like the Final Fantasy series because each Fire Emblem installment is a different story, but it all to be honest, Fire Emblem gets way too deep in their lore, and that's why I like it. It goes to politics, uh, family drama, dark stuff like very Game of Thrones type of stuff. That and yeah, and when in Mortal Kombat, it's just very fun. I love that. Yeah, but yeah, yeah,
Okay. Hmm. You like more of the complex stuff. Okay. So, well, except for Mortal Kombat. Well, Mortal Kombat
well,
is complicated.
yeah. It it actually this time Mortal Kombat just divulged into different timelines and
Yeah.
yeah, but to be honest, when you look uh behind the fatalities, it has a very big universe, and I'm just right now I'm just so disappointed that they tend to ignore those lore
Hmm.
in favor to just uh do fan service stuff. So yeah.
Okay, that's interesting because we're geeking out here, but no, this is all gonna come around in the end. Trust me, guys. But yeah, when it comes to games, you gotta understand. You gotta be a gamer yourself if you're gonna work in games, and you
Yeah.
get and stuff like that is something you sort of look into, right? So when you did your thesis back then in UST, there's a huge lore behind Dante's Inferno, and that was your thesis topic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was for production design, and you won best thesis. That you got that award.
Yeah.
Back when people were doing animation, you chose to do concept art. So, in understanding the world behind that, your take was kind of unique. You went sci-fi. You took the divine out of the divine comedy.
Yeah. Well,
It,
actually,
yeah.
yeah. Sorry. Well, actually, I took it out, but you know, it it became too different. So I brought back in the divine, but
Oh.
so it's just a little twist. What is the divine look? What does it look like when in sci-fi setting? So that is what I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, that's great. That's a great follow-up because I was
Because
gonna ask
because
what was the angle. Yeah.
yeah, because when we think about the divine or the afterlife, we always think it looks like an ancient place. So that's why uh, I made it into a sci-fi looking place. I retained much of the essence of the story, but made it uh, put in a coat of uh, sci-fi paint over it.
Okay. Oh, that's a great take because Dante's Inferno. For those of you that don't know, actually, it's part. it's the first book of three in
Yeah.
the Divine Comedy, where a poet journeys through hell and then through purgatory and then through heaven, right?
Yeah.
This was back when the church was pretty. Oh, yeah, be careful with my words here. Okay, so it was during that interesting period in the church. Okay, so there's that, and you can be persecuted, right? Um, this was back in the Renaissance, Renaissance era, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And the Renaissance era is very unique. That time period is very unique. And the angle that it shows was interesting because it's way far into the future. So, what was the challenge then for you when you took that angle?
Um. Well, processors. Oh, it hasn't been done as far as I know. So, uh, I took some liberties with the characters featured in the story. I made Virgil into an alien.
Mhm.
I wish I have the files for it, but I'm sorry, I don't have that right now. But
Okay.
yeah, so I translated some, like I translated some of the yeah designs. So I made the angels wear like sci-fi armor, like they're like the stormtroopers of heaven, something like that. And in well. hmm, But yeah, I still retain some of the fantastical elements of because Dante's Inferno is well basically a kind of like an isekai story made by Dante himself, and he put in Greek and Roman creatures in the story, incorporated that. So I made those creatures into some of those creatures into an alien species. That's why I made a lot of alien species for that thesis, and with backstories of those species. So I just it became a very big. Uh, it's kind of like a big world building thing. That actually I recycled some of those ideas into what I'm doing right now, into my recent, I mean, to my current IP. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, sorry,
Are
hmm?
you allowed to talk about your IP? No, or is it like on
Eh,
the wraps first?
well, to be honest, it's just a hobby. Yeah. But I can maybe talk about it. So this is actually this guy is the main character of my IP. His name is Jayon, and that is my username Jayon009. And Jayon is a prince in a kingdom called Aldarin. Uh, the IP is too long actually. It has already spread into kind of like three books because
Oh,
he
shit.
already has grandchildren in the story, something like that. But yeah, my IP is mostly inspired by the Fire Emblem series. But of course, uh, to be honest, my IP is also a translation of my life. Like I took some events in my life and molded it into a fantastical story. Like for
Like the Great
example,
Flood.
yeah, the Great Flood, and the times that uh, I'm doing some like a big project and it is like translated into uh, a very hard war, something like that. So yeah, sorry, got I
No,
got
no,
too far away from the thesis thing.
no, because it all led to your current IP right now, right?
Yeah, yeah,
From redesigning something, you made your own IP, and I think that's more
Yeah.
difficult. You're crystallizing all of that info into your own IP.
Yeah.
So how do you, because this is a big world that you're doing, and for concept art a lot of it is in the planning and in the research and in making sure everything is cohesive, because one of the challenges in world building is sometimes things aren't meshing together. So how do you keep track of all of that, all of the lore, and how do you make sure all of your designs are consistent? So it doesn't have to be about your IP, it can be real life scenarios like for studio work, like, so our audience can have a glimpse of what it means to make concept art for something as big as that.
Hmm. Um. Well. My way is, to be honest, it all came from my. Uh. Wait, can you repeat the question? Sorry, I got
No,
lost.
no, no, it's okay. So that's an extensive world building you're doing for your IP, right?
Hmm.
And for this next question, it doesn't have to be specifically about your IP. It can be. So in general, how do you, as a concept artist, keep track of the lore, and how do you make sure all of the designs are consistent? So, for example, one of our members here wants to make their own IP, and it can get overwhelming. How can
Hmm.
you help make it bite-sized or digestible? That process.
Um. hmm. Well.
How do they not get lost in the sauce when making the art for it?
Well, to be honest, my system is quite unorganized. To be honest, um, uh, I actually don't keep notes. Sometimes I do make notes of my IPs, but
Mm.
when I get an idea, I always draw it immediately. So and with that artwork, uh, that will immediately remind me of everything about that IP. So, for example, this thing, um, I have this my main IP, this guy, and this is actually his future self, and these are like my multiverse. So this is from Pokemon, Fire Emblem, Final Fantasy, and so on. So from these works, I can now, remember what is that IP and everything. I mean, what is that the story and everything about it. Yeah.
Is that the same process you have for work? I mean, you don't have to talk about
Oh,
like
okay. Oh.
NDA stuff, but for example, you're handling a big world building project for work. How do you keep, because you're the lead artist, how do you help keep track of everything? What can you suggest for people working on big projects such as that? Because
Oh.
sometimes I took this course from CGMA, CG Master Academy, and my instructor is supervisor for Diablo 4. And she advised us to have some kind of, it's not really a Bible, but some kind of atlas to
Oh.
keep note. Like we even have notes on the military. Is there a lack of military? If there is military, what's their weapons? Because that will give them a notion of the technology available in that era. So when working on big projects such as that, what are the things you do to help keep them grounded and not so, in Filipino it's kalat, right? In
Yeah.
English, not so all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in terms of when in work, actually we have Trello. The Trello is where we place everything. So from concept art, illustrations, and lore of the IP, and even references that we need for certain people, place, or uh, environment, or creatures or weapon design. So we have that. We have something that will organize everything in order, from main characters to side characters to NPCs. So that's that. But to be honest, with, with myself, I don't have I don't have that. I just have spreadsheets, names of the characters, folders containing certain characters. I even sometimes I'm really not an organized person, so everything just falls into my head, and so yeah. Sometimes I don't even remember the lore, and then sometimes I will remember it. I'm really bad keeping keeping my things organized. But yeah, and when you need to organize things, um, something like a website that I think I saw like uh, a website that you can, or a software that you can input all of your IP ideas, like the family tree, the lore behind the certain characters. I forgot. I think it's Campfire. So I downloaded it a long time ago, but I did not use it. I'm that lazy.
Is this campfirewriting.com?
um, I'm no. Let me try to look for it, or maybe I'm wrong. It's something Campfire.
Is this secure because it's IP? What if it gets leaked?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Mm,
I was
yeah.
just curious. Like, I have yet to work on a really big project such as that, and some
Mhm.
people here might be interested in one day working in AAA studios. So when they have leads, they want to do their part and keep it consistent. So I just thought it would be interesting to know.
Mm, okay. Well, if I found it, I'll probably send
Oh
it.
no, it's okay. We can get back to that later on. Okay. Oh, but in terms of digging up something from the past, let's bring this out of the cemetery. So you once did a redesign. Well, actually, not once, but yeah, you did a redesign of Josie Rizal, and you posted it in Guhit Pinas. And you did the same for Darna and Panday, and there were some comments there. So you guys can Google that. A
Yeah, I
blast from
got
the past.
got canceled a lot of times.
Ooh, oh,
Yeah.
okay. What do you think is the challenge in designing for a Filipino audience compared to Western or foreign people?
Well, well, I can show this my past.
Okay.
So I once did a redesign of Darna, kind of like a modernized version of Darna, and people did not like this because she's too covered up. She doesn't look like Darna. She looks like Iron Man. I don't know why they compared this design to Iron Man. Um, and yeah, so uh, I did some. I mean, to be honest, a long time ago, I prefer to not sexualize my female characters,
Mm-hmm.
but um, when right now I want them to feel powerful. I mean, I still don't like to sexualize my designs. Well, depending on the character. To be honest, there are different characters that needs to have a very you know uh, if their personality is sexualized, then it, it will have a sexualized design. But yeah, well, Filipinos don't like it. They don't like big changes. So I made a new recent design of Darna that actually hasn't garnered that much hate. And so this design is more close to the original design, but I took some, I made it, I made it alien because her stone came from a different planet. So there's still some, like alien or organic qualities of the bikini armor. Still bikini armor, but I made sure that it is not too very scantily. I mean, it's scantily clad because it's just a bikini, but there I made some like cover this part up more, and I did not make the white cloth transparent. So yeah. So when I designed this, and people, I got hate from this. I like that a lot of artists made their own version of Dharna, and they made like different, just to spite just to spite the haters, or the haters of the artwork, and they made like their version of very scantily clad. I have this friend, Chi Chi, which is you guys interviewed, and he
Yeah.
made an artwork of Darna just wearing the stars on her chest area. It's very scantily clad Darna, and that was fun. And some other artists made their version of Iron Man Darna wearing a metallic armored version. So that was a fun time. This Darna saga. So yeah.
It's it's hard to please Filipinos.
Yeah.
No, and that's great though. You got a conversation starting. Sorry, you got a conversation started. Sorry, my tenses were all over the place. It's a long day. So you got a conversation started with that artwork, and you once told someone in an interview before that that's a great tip. That's a great starting point for people who want to grow their following and make connections. They join art groups, they join art jams, and then
Hmm.
they post their works, and then from there you can get conversations started. So
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, what is the most unhinged comment that has stuck with you? I mean, what is the most unhinged comment you've read from your art because of your art, and why has it stuck with you for so long?
Um. Hmm. Uh. Well, one comment uh on my Josie Rizal work that has stuck on me is they basically, well, I don't remember the specific comment, but they hated the term that I use for the pants, because I use a term, I cannot say this, but it's the general term that we use here in the Philippines. So I don't know why I got that hate using that term. So I don't know. Some of it is are just well, very graphic. I cannot say it here. I don't know if I can say the comments, but it was positive, a positive comment, I guess. But it was a lewd comment. But
Oh,
I so I got different kinds of feedback from my works, and I just tend to uh, when I look at those feedback, I just have fun with it.
okay. On the topic of toys, figurines, and having fun. So when I went to the system mixer, shout
Mhm.
out. um, so someone said that actually, I think it was, yeah. Then I confirmed with you, like, are these your toys? And you're like, this is not even half of my collection. So you're
Yeah,
an avid figurine collector. Trust
yeah.
me, guys, there was a lot. There was a lot of toys and statues there. So
Yeah.
I wanted to
I
ask, how
made
did?
I'm mm,
Yeah, yeah, you
I
made
made
what?
I made the entire office my own my own collection display.
It's your vault.
Yeah,
You know how in games where you add like collections to add like stats to the area, like in Assassin's Creed 2, where
Mm-hmm.
you add stuff to the auditory villa and it ups the
Mm-hmm.
value.
Yeah, yeah.
I wanted to ask because that was a lot, and I can kind of guess these things cost a pretty penny. So how did you
Yeah.
get into that hobby?
Oh, okay. So, well, it all started with, again, Jill Valentine, because there's a Hot Toys figure of Jill Valentine that I really wanted. So that is back way back then when I just need that figure. And when I got that figure, I actually remember it vividly. That guy, I met with the guy that sold that Jill Valentine figure in Mega Mall, and when he gave me the box, he just and when I gave him payment, he just said thanks and uh, immediately left. And then he texted me. He said, "Enjoy the lesson," which enjoy the poison. So I didn't know. I was scared that time. I don't know. I don't know what it means. Is my figure laced with poison? But I eventually, um, you know, the poison is actually me nonstop buying the figure.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah. So I mean, I have over 100 Hot Toys 1/6 figures right now. But I don't just buy my figures just for the heck of it.
Uh,
Um, I buy it as like I feel like I'm the collector in MCU in Marvel that
uh,
has his own uh, gigantic collection of alien species. So my figures are actually just inspiration. It is a live um like a live viewing of every character that I like. So I can see all of the details. Because Hot Toys figures tend to be like lifelike. That is what I want. I want lifelike figures. So yeah, that's why I'm obsessing with these figures.
oh,
And sometimes I just put them on my table and I look at it and then maybe get some idea out of it or inspiration from the figures. So it's I don't know if I'm just just trying to tell myself that my money is not wasted with these figures, but it's actually just the designs are just inspirational, and yeah, and right now I'm jumping to custom making and making my own version, my own OCs actually in figure form. So that's that.
oh.
It's a
But that's
different
great.
hobby.
Yeah, that's great. I was gonna ask, do you have plans of 3D printing your own figurines one day?
Oh,
There we go.
I really
Oh,
wish I can, but I'm still trying to learn 3D sculpting, which is very hard. I'm not too familiar with ZBrush, but I think I can sculpt something, but I'm still not very good with the what do you call it, the interface of the
okay.
ZBrush.
You
Someday I'll buy my 3D printing machine and just print my own figures of my own design.
okay? So until that day comes, you will
Yeah.
be a collector. Now,
Yes.
knock on wood. If you were to lose your collection to a calamity, let's say another great flood, what's the one figurine you'll fight tooth and nail to save? Like you would really swim out there and save the camera. I mean, I'm save the camera like from Phineas and Ferb. You would save that figurine. Like you would risk your life to save that figurine. What would it be?
Uh, well, probably my Joe. my Jill Valentine collection.
Of course, the one that started it all.
Yeah, but actually, the my Jill Valentine figure got flooded last time during
Oh,
Ondoy. Yeah, I wasn't able to swim for it. But if ever it happens, well, again, maybe I won't be able to save it still, but I'll try to try to save it.
oh, okay. Speaking of origin stories, it's turn back time
Hmm.
because if that's what started you on that path, Jill Valentine started you on that path. Um, you you started your art career. If I'm not mistaken, your friend Alfonso Maesa from Chopa Entertainment
Hmm.
helped you get an OJT in Chopa, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I interviewed Alfonso. He was the first interview I had here.
Hmm.
And he, on the other hand, when it comes to making art for games, he likes doing the final render more because, and I quote,
Hmm.
mahirap mag-isip. In English, it's hard to think.
Hmm.
But you're the other side of that coin in game art.
Yeah.
So when are the times you struggle with the design? When is it hard for you to think?
Hmm. Well, there are times that it's more like on how to translate it.
Mhm.
Uh, uh, I don't know. I,
Some existential stuff. We're getting into it.
well, when it turns out that I'm struggling on that design, I just look for more references and inspiration.
Research.
Yeah, research more. Maybe uh, sometimes I can there could be like happy accidents when I'm just doodling the design and then I found the shape. Oh, that looks interesting. So I'll translate it into something uh, like for an armor or a weapon design. Um, when also we're going to the art block side now. So when I'm having an art block, I usually do a lot of exercises just to refresh my my mind. So for example, I rework on old artworks, and this is like an very old art from 2014. As you can see, the designs are just very weird. These are like fighting game characters. So yeah, I redesigned them into much more detailed and also with more research. So yeah, I rework on old works, or uh, I can probably uh, and some of the exercise I do is paint over like this paint over.
Oh,
So
sheesh.
these are like scenes from this is from Game of Thrones. This is actually from Twilight and Game of
Oh,
Thrones again, and probably on Merlin or some period movie. So these are my like something to refresh my mind. And I just sometimes I just do random stuff really just to l- uh break the tension, break everything. So I do very random stuff like these works, and then eventually go back to you know when I regained my confidence on on designing. Yeah. So after that,
that's
sorry.
great. Oh,
Yeah.
it's like a palate cleanser. you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, let's get into it. Let's get really into it because I got very, very into it with Chi Chi last week. We got
Hmm.
very existential.
Oh no.
Um, you mentioned that you do that to sort of help reset your mind. But
Yes, yes.
what brings you, like, what pushes you off the edge whenever you're designing? Like, what are the times, what makes you struggle? And also, what pushes you to that point where you're like, okay, I need to reset?
Hmm. Well, for example, this work that's been I've been showing here.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I have a clear vision for it, but because I'm not I'm not a renderer. I'm not very into like rendering.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't able to finish it. I'm still, trying to finish it. Eventually, I'll finish it. But yeah, I struggle mostly on rendering stuff.
So when
Uh,
something has like something that's heavily rendered, or you have to heavily render something out, uh, you reach that point of burnout.
Kinda, yeah.
Oh.
One example is this work. I've been painting over this work for so many years, and I did not look back on it until on 2021 I was able to finish it. Just- I just I just sometimes go back and try to look for works that I wasn't able uh, to finish and try to apply what I have learned now because all of us are just constantly learning. Uh, so yeah, it, yeah, it's just and we just kept on
Is it
testing.
that Chris?
Yeah, yeah, Chris, my one of my OCs. So yeah, this is his evolution.
The PS5 version.
Yeah, the PS5 version,
Every
PS1,
HD.
PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5.
Gonna wait for the HD remake PS6
Oh
graphics.
my god, I don't know.
They'll be blinking.
Okay.
So most of this is well, most of the work in concept art is problem solving, right? And
Hmm.
for you, what's interesting is you reach that point of burnout when you have to render it, but you seem to enjoy the problem solving aspect, the thinking aspect of it. Because that's
Yeah.
the other side of the coin with Alfonso Mesa. He tends to be tired when he has to think about the idea behind the character, a concept,
Hmm.
right? And some of the artists I've hung out with here in Brushpoint, they're also the same, where they just prefer to illustrate, to illustrate, to render. They don't want to think about the concept, but they like the pretty aspect, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with just
Yeah,
rendering.
yeah.
Oh yeah, everyone's different here. So for problem solving, because it's a different brain. Like it's the left side of the brain, it's the right side. The same goes for concept art and illustration. So with concept art, how do you keep the faith that you'll be able to solve the problem? Let's say you're very deep into a design for a character.
Mhm.
How do you trust the process?
Hmm. Well, I have so many processes when it comes to designing. So sometimes I just when there's no like I just got uh hit by a roadblock when it comes to designing. I tend to uh I guess uh jump out of the box and to be honest, I play games to regain or buy art books, a lot of art books. Most of the art books here in the office are mine.
I
So
remember.
yeah. So and here's one thing that I do actually. Uh, the game that I play, Soul Calibur, when this is my old work and I want to redesign them, and I just don't know how. I don't know that time. I just have no idea how to do this quickly. I want it to be done immediately. So I made these characters in Soul Calibur. So this one, and this one, and then I just translated the design into this one, and this one. So here's the updated version of it, and and it helps us. It helps that we have um, s- because we have so many tools that we can use to support us in designing or rendering. Uh, so yeah, uh, some of those are my way in this when I got art block. And in yeah, I just kept on uh, drawing. Actually, I just kept on designing things, even though it's just a random thing. For example, just kept training my mind. And one example that I do is this random jolt of ideas that, for example, I really like these characters, so I made them into a D&D character. So
Is he a bard?
yeah, he's a bard and she's a dancer. I made her a dancer because she's a cheerleader, and this guy, I don't know, I think he plays the guitar or something. So I made him a bard. Um, and some of it is like this one, which is just like a Reddit information of a leak of Fire Emblem game. And so, what if I make it into a real? I mean, what if I made this into real characters? So this is my work for it. Uh, I called it Fire Emblem Eclipse because it's about vampires, but it's a fake leak, but I made it my own. So yeah, I mean, I guess I kept. It's just like grinding for your
Ah,
character, grinding for your level. Kept doing a lot of things, and actually, this artwork is a random artwork. I just think of, what if I redesign this? Because we have a lot of you know remakes in games, and all of those remakes just inspired me on my works. Like how well most of them are Japanese, and how they translated their old work in
hello? Is it, did he get cut off? Did I get cut off? No. Oh,
Can you hear
oh.
me?
There we go. Sorry, we lost you for a second.
Oh,
We asked,
sorry.
you were talking about Japanese.
Oh, okay. Oh no, I think my internet uh connection is unstable. But can you hear me right now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So I'm just inspired with how they made their remakes, Japanese, like how they remade the old Resident Evil games into a new one, how they translated the creatures, uh, like the polygonal creatures, into something very vile and disgusting, and how they translated their old designs. Like Jill Valentine, she used to wear a tube top and a skirt. Now she's wearing something more modern and utilitarian, and she looks like she's ready for action. Small, uh, like even small changes, like Leon's in Resident Evil 4's new design, uh, that made him more realistic, and small things actually, that in small details. that pops out, that gives me so many ideas uh, and inspiration to do my own. So yeah.
So you really grind it. That's actually quite interesting because Alfonso, his big tip for artists whenever they get through those tough times is just keep drawing. Just keep drawing.
Yeah, keep
And
growing,
that's great.
keep
And
doing what you love, me gaming, and of course also watching movies and series, uh, uh, and even researching. I love researching about everything that from names to mythologies to real life histories. So yeah.
all right. Oh, okay. I think I know what's a good ender right here on the topic of doing what you love and like your interests. And
Yeah.
by the way, guys, we're gonna open Q&A after this, so get your questions ready. Okay. So one great tip that I got from Inka Schultz, my instructor from CG Master Academy for character design in films and games, was that if you can visualize your characters interacting with each other, then you're in a good spot. So for your IP, let's say it becomes live action or it gets
Mhm.
animated or a different breath of life is breathed into it, right? So if you
Mhm.
were to see and meet Jayon, what would you? What would be the thing you would tell him?
um, will I tell him
Yeah,
if I met him like I isekai'd myself into
yeah,
my world?
exactly. Uh huh. Let's go meta.
I'll probably tell him I'm his god. I created him. I created this universe. I know when will you die.
How do you think he would react?
He could probably react violently and incinerate me because he's
There
a
we
magic user.
and there we have it. What a fun answer. Because it all goes back to having fun with what you do. So there we
Yeah.
go, guys. And with that, we end the interview portion of our segment. We're gonna now open question and answers. So while they're preparing their questions, will you show us like a workflow, or will you go
Yeah.
through some artworks? All right.
Yeah. I'll probably do a small demo and try to redesign this old character that I did years ago. So here's like a snippet of my some of my process.
Send in your question, guys, while we go through the process of the one and only JC Dimayuga. Oh, Ella is asking, will we ever get a published book of your IP?
Oh, I don't know. To be honest, my IP is just like um to be honest, it's like in 40% completion. Maybe I can like release someday a book of my works, but not necessarily my IP. I don't know. So yeah, that's yeah. My IP is actually not still not completed because I tend to make a lot of IPs. More, it's not IP, more like fan stories. I because I like inserting my character into different IPs like Resident Evil. I have a character there, but I don't disrupt, the the canon storyline. I always tend to make it like uh, is there, but you, the character is there, but you know, it doesn't affect the canon story. So that's that.
All right. Where do you see your IP going, by the way? Like, what medium do you have? Like, I know you got asked this by Brushpoint 3 years ago, but what has changed? Did things change? Like, do you see your IP becoming a game, or are you
Like,
just having fun with it at the moment?
Well, I'm having fun with it, but I think I see it as a game someday. Yeah, so a game because there's too many characters in my main IP. As what I said, has spanned into his children, grandchildren, even a future version of that IP. So basically, and there are like guidance storylines, like side stories that has branched out from my main quote unquote books. So yeah,
Did you think about, like, did you think really far into it that you want it to be AAA, or is it okay if it's pixel, top down, side scroller?
I want it to be triple A.
Hey,
I'm just so inspired with Japanese games, triple A Japanese game. To be honest, not Western.
no Western, yeah, the goats.
So here's my process. Sometimes I just use a 3D model just to puke out my idea. Let me know if there are still questions.
Okay, I'll call him out as we
Just
speak.
try to while I try to work on this. Also, as you guys can see, I only work on a small space. I'm more comfortable doing working on my works with just this.
I'll finally get to see the legendary speed. I've been hearing about it over the past year. Let's go. Oh, so like I mentioned, you're one of the my four horsemen that inspired me to resign from my graphic design career and jump
Oh
ship to
my
art.
god, is
I'm
that a
fine.
bad thing?
I'm still alive so far.
Okay.
I have a job. I think it worked out.
I mean, I love when people just jump to their uh, to 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 the place that they would really love, and that's all I want for us artists, just to uh, you know, I mean, our industry is a little grim, but I want all of us to have a place still in the industry.
Inspired. I know a couple of people who needed to hear that right now, especially with how difficult it
Yeah,
is for the industry.
you know, the whole AI thing and the uh, industry, letting go of their people.
The
I
layoffs.
just Yeah, the layoffs. Um, I I mean, it's very sad, but uh, I want people to keep on, doing what they're loving. Don't get discouraged on uh, letting go of what they love, which is art. And uh, yeah, um, I mean, from what I see, uh, things are slowly turning around. But yeah, we just have to keep on, I guess, keep on fighting with with our and keep on drawing. Of course, there is still a lot of opportunities out there, and the game studios are popping out left and right. So I've been hearing new studios, to be honest. So um, don't lose hope.
There you have it, guys. Came from JC Dimayuga himself. lead concept artist of System Studios. Let's keep drawing. Oh, we got a question from Zon and Asus. Is this Tuti? Okay, I think it's Tuti. So back in System Connect event, we saw a lot of toys and action figures displayed in the office. People there
Hmm.
said that most of it, if not all of them, were yours. My question is, what is the most expensive toy you have bought? How much did it cost?
Oh God. Well, my Ludens figure, my Kojima Productions. I have the 1/6 scale version of the Kojima Productions. What do you call it? Their mascot, the spacesuit guy. So I have that, and I bought it in a convention because I don't think I'll ever lay my hands on anything like that anymore. So it cost me like almost 25. It's a lot, but I just have to get it.
Is
I
this
know
in
there are,
pesos? Is in
yeah,
pesos?
in pesos, of course. I probably I probably won't buy it if it's $25,000.
There you have. Wait, what toy was this again? Casino Productions. Which one?
The Kojima Productions mascot, the mech one, the spacesuit guy with the flag of the
Yeah,
Kojima Productions.
with the skull. Oh, I heard
Yeah,
casino. So,
sorry,
so
Kojima. I mean it's yeah, Kojima.
there we go. Kojima Product. Oh, the mech. Oh, they have a figurine of this. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
cool.
when I bought that, I suddenly saw them recently release a new version that's in all black. So
Uh,
oh god. Though I probably won't buy it, I
probably,
guess. I
probably.
think.
There we go. Tuti. Right. Oh, Rusty de la Cruz is asking, what are things you wanted to say but you never did in art? For example, what are your mental reminders when creating art?
What are
Oh, what are things you wanted to say but never did in art? Let us. Could you expound on that, Rusty? But his follow up is, for example, what are your mental reminders when creating art?
hmm um mental reminders?
Is there like a
Just
checklist you have in mind?
well, for example, like what I'm doing right now. Uh, this is just from my design library, but eventually, I will look for references that will enhance the design of this character. So that's one of the things that are like a mental note for myself. Because for example, I can do like armor designs, but how can I enhance it more? So I just look for references that is close to my design that will enhance my design. So I hope I answered it. Yeah.
There you go, Rusty. Uh, Jillian Galang is asking, what design did you have the hardest problem solving with?
Oh gosh. Well, probably what design? Hardest
Yeah,
design.
yeah.
Um, Probably this artwork. This one.
Oh,
Uh,
sheesh. That's some dead
so
space stuff right there.
yeah. So here's the thing. This is the original design of that creature, and the remake made it redesigned it very drastically different from the original
Uh-huh.
design. So uh, I remember I kept on reworking this design while retaining the gore and the detail of this uh, new design. And I remember I kept repeating it throughout the years actually. So this is my new. I mean, this is my current redesign of what I think like an in between, like that retains the original essence, but incorporates the new vibe of the remake version. So yeah, yeah. I know I can probably do something better and execute it better in the future. But here is my current design that I'm satisfied with. So yeah, but yeah, I have a lot of artworks that I struggle with in terms of the design, and just gave up on that. And then I just like what I said earlier. I just when time passes and I think I'm confident enough to work on it again, that's when you know I'm
That's
able
right.
to finish it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's just like a Metroidvania quest where you're gonna need to level up first before you
Yeah.
enter. There,
Yeah.
there you go, Julian. Oh,
Thank you, Jilly.
Red Salong is asking, what's your favorite Mortal Kombat film? Or what is your guilty pleasure movie? Okay, we can start with the first one. What's your favorite Mortal Kombat film?
Um. Uh. Well, actually, it's my guilty pleasure. I enjoy watching Mortal Kombat Annihilation a lot because it's such a meme movie. There are so many iconic moments, iconic funny moments. Yeah, yeah, and it, I tend to go back and rewatch it again, just in the background when I'm drawing something Mortal Kombat related. So yeah, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, the best. I think it is a better film than the new MK movie that was released back in 2021. I think that movie sucks. I hate it.
Is this the one with Hiroyuki Sanada, a Scorpion?
Hiroyuki Sanada is the only redeeming quality of that film. Other than
Oh,
that, I don't like it.
there we go, Red. Right. Next question from John Corpus. Are you a Star Wars fan? If so, are you Team Jedi or Sith?
Of course, I'm Team Sith.
They're
I dedicated my wardrobe on
all
looking like a
black.
Sith Lord always. And
Yeah.
here's actually my character for Star Wars. His name is Jayon Dralin, and he's a Sith Lord. His Sith name is Dark Clevis, and his storyline came after actually came after uh, episode 6. So after Palpatine was destroyed, he actually has a Sith Academy hidden in Korriban, which is Moraband now, according to Disney. So for years, he hid and trained a lot of Sith warriors in his temple, while he is posing as a rich collector or merchant businessman in Coruscant. So yeah, there. That's how I love Star Wars. I love the old Republic. I like the new. I mean, I like the first six episodes.
Oh, of course, we're not gonna talk about the prequel trilogy. Sorry,
Uh, uh,
the sequel
Sequel
trilogy.
trilogy. I mean, it's
Yeah,
all right, but somehow Palpatine returned.
they had
Gosh.
to defile his grave for money.
Yeah.
Right, there we go. That's the second artist who has answered Sith. First one was Raf Lamatan.
Okay.
All right, guys. Next, Zeus Omelius was asking, when you were making your IP, Was there a time when you had to make a major change and scrap a whole chunk of story and designs because you thought of a better canon event slash design for it?
Hmm. Um. Well, it's actually more on scratch. What is the question again? Sorry.
Yeah, was there a time where you had to make a major change or scrap a whole chunk of story?
Oh. Hmm. Well, actually, I like recycling uh, my old ideas. So, so I tend to, reuse, reuse my old ideas into new ones. So one prime example is, of course, the Dante's Inferno thesis I made. Of course, I cannot make it my own IP. So
Mm-hmm.
I retranslated it and incorporated it into a new uh, idea for my uh, future IP. So yeah, there.
So not really scrap, but recycle. Nothing,
Recycle.
nothing wasted. Like what
Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay says. All right, there you go, Zeus. JC San Pedro is asking, what's your mantra, motto, or phrase in art that you always follow? Something like a JC Dimayuga motto. Uh, yeah, except other than always practice because it's common. So, is there a JC Dimayuga motto?
Motto. Um, I don't know. uh,
I think this is kind of related to the earlier question of like, is there a mental checklist that you have when you're drawing a character? So I think it can go to that, but it's related to that. But aside from the checklist that you mentioned earlier, is there something that aside from just keep drawing, uh, is
well,
there
it's still
something in your head that's always repeating?
it's still it's a constant of thinking new ideas and redesigning because I tend to redesign a lot of stuff and that's what I've been doing my whole life. I like to redesign stuff not because I don't like the design that I'm redesigning, but I just want my own touch, my own translation for that idea. So redesign, Red,
Redesign.
yeah, redesign.
There you go,
So
JC.
yeah, so I
Yeah,
think
you were
I can show this. For example, I just love redesigning stuff. I
mhm.
like uh, reimagining also. So here's my reimagine of versions of this evil guy Shinnok from Mortal Kombat. I made him into a good guy in this timeline, and this character also. So and gender bent. This has been like during Saki Michan days when she's making gender bent versions of characters. So here's my version of a male Kitan and female Liu. So yeah, and even like for example, old concept art of Mortal Kombat, I retranslated into an updated version on the fan alternate timeline story that I'm working on, and like even joke characters. Like, how can I redesign this character into a more serious looking character?
Oh,
So like
sheesh.
this joke character, zebra character in Mortal Kombat, I redesigned him into a. I guess I made him like a tikbalang creature with zebra stripes, so something like that. So yeah, my motto is I guess redesign.
There we go. He will always remember you whenever he hears the word redesign. That's what JC said. There we go. Thank you for that question, JC. Next. Oh, another one from Ishi Gonzaga, one of our students here. She is a student from UP. Now, currently in Dinaman, she transferred from Baguio actually. So she
Oh,
is an FA student. So she asks, when posting character designs online, how do you segregate the hate comments from criticisms? I think some hate comments can be criticism, but it was not put in the best way.
oh, uh, to be honest, I take all the criticisms. Uh, I'm not angry with criticisms. Actually, I welcome it, to be honest. And for example, I got uh, criticized on my artworks of Wanda and Pietro's Heart and Speak Silver because I made them too light skinned. Um, uh, and they're actually not they're actually Romani. Romani tends to have olive or darker skin. So when that person told me that I'm racist, I just apologized and I said I will rework it into uh, a something uh, you know not I guess not racist. So yeah, so that's Twitter always thinking that there are the racist people are and the there's so many fights in Twitter.
You know, for now called X. So they were accusing you of whitewashing characters
Yeah,
when they're
yeah,
played by white actors in the
yeah.
MCU.
I actually just base them on the actors, but of course, I want to respect that they are Romani uh, uh, people, so I made them. I reworked my artwork just to uh, so people can you know be satisfied. Well, of course, when it comes to people that has just you know uh, bad like bad feedback that doesn't make any sense or just for the spite, I
Mhm.
just laugh about it.
If you have an issue, laugh it off.
Laugh it off. Yes.
You can just take let's extract the valuable information, the
Yeah.
critique and criticism,
Yes.
and just roll off the negative side. All right, thank you for
Yeah.
that question. Oh, June Anthony. Hey, office mate. Is it your
Hi,
office mate?
June. Have you sent your progress to Koi?
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Someone's policing. Okay, Sir June is asking, do you have any tips on what to put in a portfolio and how do you approach it differently? Oh, okay. So, oh, why are you asking this, June? Is this for the students here? I'm just kidding. So yeah. So let's say you're starting over, but with all of the knowledge that you have right now. So what would be the tips? How would you approach applying and building our portfolio first? Because we have a bunch of students here in Brushpoint as well. And yeah, how would you approach it now?
Mm, well, don't just put a lot of works that you think that is good. I mean, like for example, my mistake is I just put all of my finished works on my portfolio, so it just got messy. Just put your strongest works and put what uh, what are you leaning to? Like, are you into characters? Are you into environment or concept art or illustrations? So just put your strongest works on your portfolio and don't just put like your portrait studies and stuff like that. So
Nice as well.
I mean I mean that that is actually what I've learned from one of my our office mate June from Godfrey. So he was adamant on just when he told me dapat wow kagad para ganun when you first see your portfolio. So that's how you just put your strongest works. Uh, don't put something unrelated to what you want, like and what you are very like skilled in doing. So for example, I won't put any of my environment work. I don't in my portfolio because I won't even I won't be able to do that when it comes to on, yeah.
Yeah, and you already brushed on this in an interview with Brushpoint 3 years ago. So shout out again to that video. I'll be linking it here in the comments. So if you guys noticed, I didn't ask JC about his origins because you can find that online in the video on YouTube. So they'll bump right there. Yeah. And one of the things you actually mentioned in that interview was that a common rookie mistake is for people applying as concept artists, they put portraits or they have an illustrator's portfolio when they're applying for a concept art role.
Yeah.
So another tip would be to research the position, the job
Mm-hmm.
that you're applying for, and to uh, organize and curate your portfolio
Yes.
to match the
Yes.
position. So if you're applying for an illustrator position, you need to have a lot of full illustrations. Or if you're applying for a splash artist position, you should really have all splash arts in your portfolio. If they find probably like prop design or something off brand, that might come into question. So yeah, there you go. You mentioned that before in your interview. So again, I'm bumping up that YouTube video. Little plug in right there, shameless plug. All right, thank you for that question, Sir June.
Kita-kits bukas, June, papasok ka.
In office, on site. Oh, okay. We got time for 2 to 3 more questions. So keep them coming while JC continues his artwork here. Oh, so I think I missed it. Who is this character again that you're drawing?
Oh, see, I'm not organized. I forgot her name, but she's part of my IP. Uh, yeah, I just forgot her name.
Okay, I mean it's a big IP. It's like remembering
Yeah.
every name in class.
But I know that she's a villain, and she's very sexual. She likes to expose herself.
Yeah, that is him. Keep those questions coming in, guys. And just like that, he has almost a full body done sketched.
Of course,
So
I have the help of 3D. Yeah,
Yeah.
finish it quickly.
While I was chatting with Harold Pilot from the
Mhm.
System Connect, he mentioned that you guys had like this one project where by the end of the week, everyone was 3D capable. Like they weren't before, but after that one project, like almost all of the artists couldn't work without 3D anymore.
Yeah.
When did you start adding 3D to your workflow? Or have you always had 3D before? It's a common
No,
question actually here. So yeah.
no. I started adding 3D because I just want to make a lot of I just want to express a lot of ideas, and 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 with 3D, I just have to think about the design, and I don't have to think about the if if the proportions are right or wrong. So That's the help of 3D. And and uh and and I was ashamed back then using 3D. Now, who the heck cares? Who cares if you know? If you're a purist, then good for you. I mean, I can still work. I can still draw without 3D, but just to puke out my idea immediately, I use 3D. And to be honest, when it comes to, I have I have a big respect to our environment artists and the way they do their works with uh, all of those 3D softwares. It's honestly very amusing to watch their process. Very, I mean, very. It's just very impressive for me. I wish I can do that.
For those that want the system connected, did a quick demo. The 3D artists. It's great. Master Pip did his demo,
Yeah,
and Master Sean.
I started with a blank canvas.
Can wrap up the show in 5 minutes for anyone who wants to follow up with some questions. Forever hold your peace. Oh, by the way, for example, what if someone's shy? They don't want to be perceived like they're shy to have their questions exposed in public. Some people are more comfortable with asking personally. So if people are want to ask you, can they slide into your DMs?
Of course. You guys can message me. I I tend to reply on Instagram and Twitter more than Facebook. So, or you guys can add me on Discord. I mean, I'm an old guy. I'm not still familiar with with Discord. A lot of things about Discord. But yeah, you guys can message me on Discord. Uh, I'm J on 009 on Discord, so if you guys can add me. And yeah, if you guys have like questions or just to show your works, I'm open for that. I'm interested in seeing other people's works or other people's IPs. Uh, yeah. But you guys can try messaging me on Facebook. I'll try to uh, look for message, but it would be better if you guys message me on Instagram or Twitter or on Discord.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Rusty is asking once again. Hi, Sir JC. Again, what techniques do you use to ensure your character designs are both visually appealing and functional?
Hmm? Sorry.
What what techniques do you use to ensure your character designs are both visually appealing and functional?
Um.
I guess how do you check?
Hmm? How
How do
do?
you check? How do you check if it's both visually appealing and functional? So it looks cool, but also practical and functional.
Uh. So, for example, on this old design, it doesn't make sense. Like there's like a cloth here and a fur, just random fur on her shoulder. So I made it into something like a parka uh, type of outfit, and something her look like her design doesn't make any sense. Like it's suctioned on her body, but there's a zipper. So that's why I made it this time like something like a bodysuit, like Black Widow's outfit,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. So um, of course I will still do more research after I'm done sketching this, so I can, you know, add more stuff that will enhance and make it more uh, have it make it more sense.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Thank you for that question, Rusty. Ah, and I guess this can be our final question from JC, a return. So JC San Pedro is asking, and this is our final question: what character do you want to redesign, but you haven't done it yet, and why? I
Hmm.
think he's asking why haven't you done it yet, and why do you want to redesign it? I'm assuming. So yeah, we can go with that.
Hmm. Um. Well. Well, more on probably mech side of the yeah. So actually, well, actually did one. So I redesigned Mega Man, and I really want to design Mega Man, but I know I'm not that too good with mech designs. But I eventually made it, which is over here. So yeah, there. It's not perfect. So
Oh, she.
I mean, I'm weak at mech designs. So I still tend to uh, make it a little bit organic because I lean more on organic designs. So yeah, when some I have nothing. I have nothing in mind that
At the moment.
yeah at the moment. Yeah. Oh, well,
Yeah.
I guess it applies to this one. I'm still on it. I'm redesigning actually this character. Well, this enemy from Final Fantasy. This one. So I'm translating it to a more remakified version of it. So that's why I have these references from Final Fantasy remake. These are not spoilers, okay? This remake, Final Fantasy VII remake came out years ago. So there. And I'm planning to redesign more creatures because I just love making creature designs, gory, disgusting creatures.
Body horror.
Body horror, yeah.
From one JC to another. Thank you for that, JC San Pedro. All right.
Thank you, JC. Best name. Just kidding.
Best best name ever. We got a lot of J's here in
JC
Brushpoint.
Leyendecker. You guys know JC Leyendecker.
Yeah, of course. We referenced him here in one of our classes. There we go. All right. And with that, we can end this
Justin Cruz,
interview
yeah.
slash. Oh, there. Justin Cruz, JC. Oh, another one of my four horsemen.
Jed Salonga. Jed Kalonga. Yes.
It's a lot of people. No more question, guys. So we're closing it off. All right. So with that, we can cap this off. So then, once again, thank you to our guest, John Dimayuga or JC. And
Thank you
your
for
camera's not
having
on,
me.
so your camera's not on. So I was gonna say, in this camera, where can the audience find you?
Oh, well, JM009 on Twitter. John D Mayuga 009 on Instagram. Don't search for the JM009 on Instagram. That's my very old account. It only has my picture. So you guys can see what I look like on that account. So John D Mayuga 009 on Instagram, and yeah, just Instagram and Twitter actually. I don't have I don't have an art station anymore. I deleted all of my works.
Oh, why? I mean, may I
Yeah,
ask why?
it's the AS stuff long time ago, and
Oh,
I was but now yeah now though I mean AI is still a nuisance, but I'm just focusing on myself and on my work. It doesn't it will not and it will never affect me as an artist.
there you have it. Strong ending statement right there from one of our great concept artists here in the Philippines.